All right. I'm super excited. I got some good news. Anyways, this probably ain't the best place to forage, but I'm gonna walk around and see what I can find. It's summer. I haven't done a foraging and exploring video in a while. So, and look what I got. I got mulberries. So where am I? I have no clue where I am. Let's go back to the truck and find out where I am real quick. I'm in the closest truck stop to my delivery as possible that I knew I could find parking and money. Anyways, no. So let's go back to the truck here real quick. I'm so excited. I just can't hide it. No, anyways. Okay, so I'm in Waddy, Kentucky. Waddy, Kentucky. So I got, let's see how much further I gotta go to my delivery. 46 miles, or 51 miles on that one. Strange. But anyways, and Google Maps says 46 miles. So that's probably the more accurate one. The other GPS is probably taking me a longer route. And so I got 3 GPSs I use, and the 2 that agree, that's the way I go. And so the 2 that agree say 46 miles, so that's probably what I'm gonna do. Wonder what this is. Interesting. So Waddy, or Waddy, however you pronounce that. This is amaranth. That's a wild spinach. It's edible. This looks familiar, but I can't recall what it is. Not that, but this. It looks like geranium, and it might be geranium. It could be wild geranium, which is cool. This is a wild lettuce. This is the one I actually like better than I do some of the other ones. That is poison hemlock. Don't eat that. Don't know what this is, but somebody watching the video might be able to point it out. And then we got mulberries. This looks like a Bradford pear. And it is mulberry season. Let's see how good these mulberries are. Not too bad. I like the more sour ones. See all the trash back here. But anyways, I got some good news in the neighborhood. Or at least potential good news. Last year, I had a potential investor come down, and he basically decided he didn't really want to invest because of what he said was that I literally have a bum living in my greenhouse full of trash and dead plants. And I was just talking about that on my Discord today. That bum is my friend, or was my friend, until he kind of became a Judas and was backstabbing me. And actually, he's been backstabbing me and sabotaging me for a while. But I was stupid and didn't realize it. But this guy said, you know, he liked me. He said I was a nice guy, which is probably my downfall, and stuff. But he didn't really care for Judas. That's my new name for my backstabbing friend. Oh, wild cherries. Those are choke cherries right there. I love those. There's not much to them, but they're really good. They're kind of sour. Kind of like a, It's kind of like a sweet, a sour, and a bitter wrapped up into one. It's really good. This looks like pokeweed. And right now it's still edible, but you got to cook it in this stage before you can eat it. You can't just eat it raw. But once it starts turning purple, like it's starting to turn purple now, so it might still barely be edible, but again, you got to cook it. But once it starts to fork, which this one hasn't done yet, you cannot eat it until it produces berries. Then once the berries are ripe, you can eat those, but you don't want to eat too many of them or they will make you sick. Here's some more poke. So it's a light tinge of purple right now, and I think it's okay at that point because it's still young. They're like, these young ones are okay. But again, you got to cook them, and make sure you do your homework on how to eat poke weed before eating pokeweed, because it can be poisonous if you do it wrong. And then again, once they get bigger, like this, see, like right here, see, this one's really purple, but it hasn't forked yet. This one, here's the fork, see? It forked right there. Once it forks, it's definitely not edible. See, like right here where it forked, you cannot eat it after it forks. That's the telltale sign right there. Before the fork, you can judge on the purple tinge whether or not it's edible or not. See, this one doesn't have a lot of purple tinge to it, but it just forked right here. And you might even call this a fork, but I don't know. So it may have forked twice right here. And so therefore, this is no longer edible. But these berries, when they turn purple, you can eat them. But only like a half of a handful, not very much, you know, like maybe a half a cup a day, if that much. You know, depending on your body weight, you can have a little more. And it's more like a cold suppressant, cold medicine. And here's some more choke cherry, but it's not ready yet. So that's what the poke berries are for. They're also good for pain and inflammation. But yeah, I don't know about the pokeweed. I've never eaten pokeweed, so I'm not educated on that. But I know people who do. So I have a little bit of education on that. There's more amaranth. Ton of it. That's a wild spinach. That's edible. I'm not a huge fan of amaranth, but I will eat it. And one of the telltale signs is it's got this like powder on it. It's like a dust. It's not bad. It's just not great. Wow, here's a window. Oh, it's a broken window. Never mind. Wow, there's a lot of hemlock. See all this? I don't know if this is called the water hemlock or what hemlock this is, but this is the one that looks the juiciest, and it's probably one of the most dangerous. There is a hemlock evergreen. It's different. It's actually not poisonous, but it's an evergreen. It's a different family altogether. There's some grape vines. It could be porcelain berry, or it could be grapes. I don't know. It looks like it might be grapes, looking at some of the where it looks like there might have been grapes trying to grow. Oh, wait a minute. What's that up there? Nah, it might be porcelain berry. Oh no, those are mulberries. Okay, so it could be a grape. Porcelain berries have different colors like pink, purple, blue, and I don't know what other color berries they have. And they got this like white marshmallow pus on the inside. And I don't think it's very good, but chickens seem to love them. Here's a nice 2x4. Wow. Too bad I'm not closer to home. Although I don't have a seal on my trailer, I probably could throw that 2x4 in the trailer and use it later. Take it home, maybe. So, choke cherry. I like choke cherries. They're not, choke cherry's not always good for farm animals, so make sure you, if you have livestock, make sure that choke cherry is good or bad for your livestock and act accordingly. Like they say it's not good for goats, but I haven't had any trouble. But it's also not good for cattle, so apparently it'll kill cows a lot quicker than it'll kill goats. And so the cow farmers definitely get rid of choke cherry on their land. I'm familiar with this tree, but I can't remember what it is. There's another one. Oi! There's some more hemlock. I might have to go somewhere else, so I'm not having to worry about sliding down this hill and going around all these trailers. And of course, truck drivers kind of get suspicious when you're around their trailers, especially these days, probably because they might think I'm trying to break into their trailers or something. And rightfully so, I would be concerned too. So, but anyways, so I'll probably get away from these trailers and look around some other spots. Oh, here we go. Perfect. So this looks like it might be black locust, but I don't know if it's black locust or not. Now, black locust is not edible, but I would grow there's a lot of hemlock. I would grow black locust for hedge posts because it grows straighter and faster than hedge and lasts just as long. This here is a red bud, and it's edible. The leaves are edible, the seed pods are edible, and the flowers are edible. The flowers are my favorite. So, and this is a wild lettuce. It's edible, but it's prickly. Anything prickly, I like to stick in a juicer and juice it and just drink the juice. So if you're watching this on YouTube, check out freefoodandmedicine.org. I know this tree, but I can't tell you what it is. Anyways, check out freefoodandmedicine.org. I actually created another a Rumble account. I need to put my videos there as well. But freefoodandmedicine.org, that's you'll find all of my links to all of my free locations where we can network and share information about all this stuff. This is a Bradford pear. Bradford pear, I don't know if it's edible, but it makes a great cooking wood. So if you want a good cooking wood, I would, You could go out and trim people's Bradford pears and get paid for it, and then take the cooking wood home. That's pretty much all I cook with is Bradford pear. This here is juniper, and these berries are edible. Now, that being said, I have to look at Marcus Rothkran's videos again. But there's two types of these junipers or evergreen type cedars. And I think these ones are the edible ones, but the ones with the flat, I wouldn't even call these leaves, but we'll call them leaves for now. The ones with the flat leaves, I think those are the ones that are not edible, but the ones with the rounded, whatever these are called, those are the ones that are edible, I believe. I have to double check that. And you might want to double check that. Always double check, because I may not always be right. CYOA, always do your own homework. That's not what the abbreviation stands for, though. Yeah, I think this is black locust. And see, black locust, if this is it, see how straight it looks? And apparently it tends to grow, if this is black locust, it tends to grow straighter and faster than, say, hedge. So right now I use hedge for fencing and whatnot, but in the future, and here I think this is hedge. Yeah, this is hedge right here. It's fairly straight too, but it doesn't always grow that straight. Anyhow, you see, like here, this is that same tree. Its branches, except for this one, look all fairly straight, so you can get some decent posts out of this. And like I said, they say that black locust lasts as long as a hedge post. So here's a wild strawberry. They taste like crap. Actually, they don't really have much flavor. It's like eating styrofoam. But they have a lot more nutrients than a regular strawberry. So I suggest, growing these and then taking a half of these wild strawberry thingies, whatever they're really called, and half regular strawberries, and blend them up or cook them up or do whatever you do with them, half and half. And then these will add nutrients to the regular strawberries, and the regular strawberries will add flavor to these wild ones. This is wood sorrel. I call it the Irish clover, and they're really good. When I was a kid, I used to eat these seed pods. Some people call them pickles, I think. They're sour, but they're really tasty. I'm kind of afraid to eat stuff around the truck stop because you never know what is going on around here. Especially this thing. I don't even know what this is. The stuff in the trees I would be more inclined to eat off of rather than the stuff on the ground. Oh, here's a path. Let's go see where that goes. Oh, it's like a walking trail. Cool. Or maybe it was. This is like a little climbing chain that isn't in use anymore. There's some more junipers. This looks familiar, but I don't know what it is. Oh, it's water spitting out. Okay, maybe this is just part of their waste management thing. So maybe they're cleaning the water and then spitting out the clean water waste, hopefully, maybe. There's some more strawberries. Something stuck to me. I got my nice shoes on too. I probably should put my crappy shoes on. Wastewater discharge outflow. Doesn't look clean, but I don't know. Maybe maybe it is. It don't look nasty. It just looks foggy. Here's some more hemlock. I always tell people my dying wish is to taste hemlock for the first time. It's kind of a joke because if you eat it, you'll die. So it's my dying wish. But anyway, they say it tastes really good. I thought that was an egg, but it's a golf ball. So yeah, that's probably a mini sewage treatment plant up here for the truck stop or the surrounding area. And that's their discharge. All right. And so this thing here was for them to climb back up. And it's kind of steep, so I can see why they feel like they would need that thing. I used to climb mountains, but if it was any wetter, I might need this myself. But it would definitely come in handy. It's a little bit of a workout, and I'm a little out of shape. I got my workout last weekend chasing goats, though. I ended up selling all my goats because of my liability on the land with my backstabbing friend Judas. But he's almost gone. I got 2 new people coming in. Oh, here's burdock. Not burdock. Yellow dock or curly dock. Might be curly dock. This got thorns. From what I understand, I don't think black locust has thorns, so this might not be black locust. Black locust looks almost identical to honey locust, but black locust don't have thorns, and honey locust is edible where black locust is not. So this is something different. I'm not sure what that is, but it's got thorns, so I don't like it. My mom lived at an apartment complex that had a whole bunch of these things, and he wanted me to climb them and trim them, and I was like, no, those things got thorns. So I opted out. I don't like anything with thorns. It could be hawthorn. If that's the case, then it is good for you. This is garlic or onion, but it looks like it's wild garlic. It's one of the two. My mom is my taste tester because she hates onions, but she loves garlic. So if I need to know what it is, I'm like, here, Mom, taste this. Boom. I'll know exactly what it is. Dandelions. Dandelions are nutritious and somewhat delicious. not everybody, a lot of people treat dandelion as if it's a weed. And the funny part is it's not even native to this country. We brought it here from England or wherever as a food source. And now people want to kill it. And it's like, dude, that's a food. This is wild pepper. They call it poor man's pepper. But it's, you know, like black pepper. This will give you a black pepper taste, flavor. This here is plantain. This is actually my favorite plantain. There's another plantain that looks more like this, but I don't know that this one is. I don't think this one's the plantain. It looks similar to plantain, but I'm not sure because the plantain that looks like this is more rubbery, so I don't think that's this. And in this, because it looks too much like this, I mean the texture looks too much like this, so I don't think that's plantain. But this is my favorite plantain. And then the other one looks more like this, but it's more rubbery looking. So hopefully maybe we can find some of that. Here's some more of that, but that's definitely not plantain. Plantain is good for bee stings, bug bites, and here's another way to identify it. It's got this long skinny stalk. And the short fat one, or the one with the short fat leaves, has a shorter, fatter stalk. And this little thingy on the end, I forget what it's called, it's longer. It's about like this long, or maybe even that long. So the stalk is short on it, and this part's long. Where with this plantain, this part's long and this part's short. Oh, here's yarrow. And this is good for your blood and other things. And you can find it in different colors, but white and pink and purple are the common ones in the wild. And here's more. They look like feathers. And it's good for you. My nephew likes it. He calls it a mint because it has like a mint-like flavor. I don't like eating it raw, so I put it in my tea because it's too strong for me. Oh, here's some big ones. See, this is yarrow right here. They look like little feathers. So I'll take a little nibble. I'm not going to eat very much because, like I said, I don't like it raw. Here's some more yarrow. And here's some wild blackberries. They're not producing yet. They're not even flowering yet. There's some more wild garlic or onions, but I think that's the garlic. Oh, here's some back here. Yeah, these are blackberries. But they're not ready. There's some more dock, some more blackberries. Right now they're green berries. And then, if you saw this out the corner of your eye, this is thistle. This is really good for the lungs. I mean the liver. Sorry, it's really good for the liver. And you can chew this part, get the fluff out of it, and you can chew this part kind of like a bubble gum after you get all the fluff out. It's okay. It's not great, but you know, some people like it. This is another thing you would want to juice because you really can't eat it raw. But yeah, when it's nice and juicy before it flowers, cut it off and throw it in the juicer. And it's really good, and it's really good for you. You can also dig up the roots, and the roots are good for you as well. So here's more dock, and that other one that I like. See, this one here is more sour. Those are the ones that I like. I don't like this one because it's more bitter. The bitter one's good for you too, but I tend to gravitate to the sweeter and the sour stuff than I do the bitter stuff. Now, I didn't bring my juice with me, But I'll usually bring a juice or a tea or something with flavor to drink um, after I eat the bitter stuff. So it's not so overwhelming. So that's another secret. Or you can eat it in conjunction with other things, like wood sorrel. So yeah, next month, this other truck driver might be coming down. Um, he didn't want to come down before because he didn't like Judas, and he just had a problem with him. But most people do, and I defended him for too many years, and now I'm basically getting rid of him. So this guy's coming down next month, which is when Judas is supposed to be gone, and we're gonna see if it works out. And then the month after that, Sophie's supposed to come up. So I got two new potential business partners who are a lot more proactive. Yeah, I think that's garlic. I like to eat these little, it's like they're sprouts and they pre-grow. I like to eat those. So, yeah, the truck driver is supposed to come up next month or at the end of this month. And we might be slip seat running team together. So that way, 1 week he can be on the farm and be productive while I'm out on the road earning money. And then the next week he'll be out on the road earning money while I'm on the land being productive. And together, between the three of us, we'll start generating some potential revenue and sustainability on the land. Oh, here's a big one. I love these. This one is the one that's sour. It doesn't have the rough edges on it. It's nice and flat and juicy. That's how you can tell the difference between it and the dock. And then, of course, the flavor. Oh, yeah. The bigger one's a little more bitter than the smaller ones, but it's kind of like the best of both worlds. I love this. This is my favorite wild lettuce. And I don't know if it's technically in a lettuce family. I don't think it is. But I'm just going to call it a lettuce because that's how I eat it. But yeah, this is my favorite. Oh, these things. I forgot what they're called, but they're edible too. Hang on. Oh yeah, I can't talk with that in my mouth. This is an edible. Also, I just forgot what it's called. I'm not sure exactly what parts are edible. I usually just eat the flowers. I call myself a floravore because I love to eat the flowers. On my old YouTube account before it got terminated, I had a whole bunch of foraging and exploring videos. And I freaked this woman out because I was eating deadly nightshade flowers. And I didn't make another video for like a week. And she thought I died. And then when I made another video, she's like, oh my gosh, I'm so happy. Oh man, I thought you was gone. But anyway, there's some more strawberries, wild strawberries. See, they don't have this leaf, but they're growing next to that. They have more of a strawberry leaf. But yeah, I don't know that I'd be able to get away with eating hemlock and not dying. But I know I can eat nightshade, deadly nightshade, and not die. But I would not suggest that to anybody else. There's some more blackberries. That being said, some people can't even touch hemlock without getting rashes or getting sick, ending up in the hospital. I can go through with a machete and chop all this stuff out and be just fine and dandy. But I'm afraid to even try and eat it. There's some more dark. See the difference? I mean, they're about the same tinge, but it's just got a rough cut on the edge. This is more of a smooth edge. And then it starts to get wavy, where this doesn't really get too wavy. How many minutes are we? 35 minutes. What's this? Oh, it was a rose bush. Somebody sprayed it with poison. Roses are good for you. They're high in vitamin C. Especially the rose hip seeds or seed pods. All right, we're not going to go that way too much. We're going to go this way. So I'm really excited. That I'm about to get rid of my last liability on the land and potentially get 2 new assets on the land. Maybe 3 or 4. Maybe even 5. Here's some more plantain. Has some really long stems. My mom's coming down part-time. My brother's talking about coming down. I'm not sure if my brother's an asset or a liability. He's kind of neutral right now. He used to be a liability. And I'm hoping that he don't backslide. This is another like wild spinach. It's very bitter, but I like the flavor. I can only eat small pieces of it at a time, but it's got a good flavor. It's called, I think it's called winter crust. That's what we call it. It's in the mustard family. And you can forage on it all winter long. And it's not bad. It's just bitter. So, and here's some, I'm not sure what this is. It looks like it's related to what I was just talking about, the shoot, what's it called again now? Winter crust. It looks like it's related to the winter crust, but it's different. These seed pods, I'm not sure what this is. But, you know, maybe somebody watching my videos can tell me. Here's the other plantain. See, it's got a what the fork? Some bug just spit up all over the bottom of that. And there's a tank. Okay, see how rubbery it looks? Maybe not the back side, but the top side. So this is the other plantain. This is the one my friend Judas, my ex-friend, backstabbing friend Judas likes. He likes that one. I like the other one. This is the one I like. They're both good. They both basically do the same thing. But, Oh, here's mullein. This is good for the lungs and a lot of other things. Good for your bones and your joints and your ligaments. So, yeah, that's mullein. So anybody that has a lung problem, you want them to eat this. You can eat it. You can make a tea out of it. You can smoke it. You can stick it up your butt. No, I'm kidding. You can stick it up your nose with a rubber hose. No, yeah, it's great all the way around. You can make like an incense and burn it. Ooh, this is one of my favorites. Daisies. I bet you never knew you can eat the daisies. The leaves taste like carrots. It's not in the carrot family, but it tastes like it is. So good. I'm gonna go back and get another one. Here it is. The smaller leaves taste better than the bigger leaves, and that's generally always the case. I love it. I'm gonna get another one. These are so good. Tastes just like eating a carrot. Tempted to go back again, but anyway, I'm gonna keep going. Man, I love those. You can forage on those all winter too, pretty much. The leaves. They're so good. Like I said, if you like carrots, and I love carrots, but I ain't got no teeth, so it's hard for me to eat carrots. I gotta eat them cooked. So when I discovered that you can eat the leaves off of the daisies and it tastes like carrots, I was in heaven. I was like, yeah, it's like a wild carrot for me. I mean, a raw carrot for me. So there's some more pokeberry. You can see where it forked, and the flowers are growing. Like I said, once the berries turn purple, they're actually not bad. They're bitter, but they're not horrible tasting. Ooh, here's my, I think that's it. My favorite lettuce. Ooh, here's another one. This is usually how I get my greens, or how I like to get my greens, because it's healthier. But anyways, back to the pokeberry. It's not as good as, like, say, elderberry, but it's still good, and it's good for you. Just like I said, don't eat too much. Only like maybe a handful or a quarter of a handful a day, tops, because too much is poisonous. So here's some more mullein. That's good for the lungs. It'll get really tall. It'll get like 6 foot tall, and it'll have a yellow flower. Like, you know how yucca grows up and it looks kind of like asparagus as it's growing? Well, mullein will look like that at the top, but it'll have yellow flowers. It's just like, it'll stay solid, like a, that probably wasn't the best analogy. I hope I'll find some more daisies. I want some more daisies. Cattail. The top looks more like a cattail, except it's got yellow flowers instead of like a brown cob-like thing. But anyway, don't eat those flowers. They suck. They're probably good for you, but they taste like crap. Here's some more plantain. Oh, here's wild clover, and the purple flowers are good, but there's not really a lot of flavor there. I eat them, but you know, it's not like It's not like there's a lot there to brag about. Here we go. And it's kind of like those honeysuckles. There's a little bit of honey in the bottom. That's the best part. I mean, the rest of it's probably healthy, but the flower is the best tasting part. This looks familiar, but I'm not sure what it is. There's some more dock. And I think this is the lettuce that I like. Yeah. And here's some more wood sorrel. I like that too. Oh, that one was wrong. That wasn't the one. This is the one. There we go. Yeah, that's good stuff. Like I said, usually the smaller, the younger shoots or leaves are the better tasting. There's some more thistle. So yeah, as the thistle's growing up, like I said, when it's at its juiciest moment before it flowers, that's the best time to cut it and juice it and drink it. Then you could dry out the pulp if you wish, and then put that in, powder it, and then like put it in a grinder and powder it down to a fine powder, and then put it in capsules, and then consume it that way, pill form. That's the only way I would do it personally. But anyway, there's some purple flowers. Not sure what they are exactly. Not sure if they're edible or not. So we're almost at an hour. We're at 47 minutes. I'll go up here and walk these trees real quick. Didn't really find too many mulberries. Unfortunately, I love mulberries. But found a whole bunch of other good stuff that I could point out and at least identify, if not eat. So at least it was an educational video and it wasn't a dead-end video like some of them. But yeah, a lot of good stuff out there in the wild. So, and hopefully soon I'll be able to start cultivating more on the land and start being more productive and proactive on the land. Especially if this guy works out. I'm equally excited about both of them because they both have different things to offer. The guy, he's a truck driver, and he's the one who gave me the idea of doing this. Looking for maybe other truck drivers to join my so-called community. Because we all make decent money, and if they're interested in doing what I want to do, most truck drivers aren't exactly lazy. Some of them are. But, we're not afraid to work. We work 80 hours a week sometimes. Here's some more clover. So, but we get burned out being in the truck all the time. So, if we could work 1 week on, 1 week off, basically have 40 hours a week in the truck, instead of making $1,000 a week, we'd be making $500 a week each. But we'd always have somebody on the land, working the land, looking after the land, taking care of the land, taking care of the animals. Hopefully, you know, my so-called friend pretty much let all my animals die. So I only had 6 left, well, 7, 8 left. I only had 8 left. 2 of them are going to this girl for pets. And I sold the other 6. You know, but he let my animals die. He let his animals die. It's like he didn't care. He talks like he cares. And he plays a good game. And he talks a good talk. But he don't walk the walk. And they always say you shall, well, like the Bible says, you shall know them by their fruit. Actions speak louder than words. So don't believe what people say, believe what people do. And that was the mistake I made with this guy, is I bought into the BS. You know, he was a good talker. And, but his actions did not match his words. And eventually, you know, I saw through it, but it took me a long, long time. So hopefully this new guy works out. He came down last year, like I said, but he didn't like Judas. And so he was like, I'm out of here. And now that, but he liked me. And he liked what I had to offer. So he just called me today, talking about coming back and seeing about doing something, because he saw on the website that I'm getting rid of Judas. So he's like, I'm in. Let's do this. Let's see what happens. So he's a potential business partner. We'll see what happens. And then, like I said, we'll subseat run team. Maybe down the line. That way we don't get burned out on the road all the time. Somebody can be home working the land while somebody's out on the road earning money to reinvest. So, yeah. So now that I'm all hot and sweaty, I'm going to go back to my truck and relax a little bit. But yeah, I like to do these foraging and exploring videos. And now that summer's here, I can do them more. And I'm not stressed out anymore like I was. I was depressed. And giving up hope. You know, it's like that song says, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. Lord, I hope it ain't a train. Well, I was thinking it was a train, you know. I was heading for a train wreck. But like I said, last month or so, I've been just getting rid of all my liabilities. And I got about another month to go, and all my liabilities should be gone. And I can start fresh with a clean slate, or a clean plate. Not really a clean slate, but a clean plate. And just start fresh. And start fresh with 2 new people, not including my mom. 2 new people with a lot more potential. You know, they don't seem to be slackers. Well, one's a truck driver. Truck drivers are usually not slackers. We tend to work too much. And the other girl, she's a go-getter. She's got a lot of chutzpah and spunk. And I really like her. I think she's got a lot of potential. I mean, I like her professionally, not romantically. So, yeah, I really think she's got a lot of potential. And I really think she's more of the following through type. So the last guy, he and some of the other people, they had the potential, but they didn't have that element of action. They didn't have, I don't know what you would call it. You know, they were just all talk and no action. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. So here I am in Waddy, Kentucky, in Shelby County, Kentucky. And yeah, so I'm excited now, you know. Yeah, I just, got my spirits lifted today. So I'm really excited about that, because like I said, I was about to give up. I was just like, what the fork am I doing this for? Why bother? Why try? Every time you try to do something, you fall on your face, people spit in your face, they step on you while you're down, they kick you while you're down, all this stuff. It doesn't pay to be a good person anymore, it seems like, because people just walk all over you and treat you like crap. Like they say, nice guy finishes last, and it's true. But, so I'm still chewing on that clover. But if you can be smart enough and savvy enough to surround yourself with the right people, then you got a fighting chance. And that's the trick. It's like my second wife, her father used to say, there's only two types of people in this world. There's the prey and the predator. And like one of my associates told me recently, he says, and I've heard this before too, but he says there's only two types of people in this world. There's givers and there's takers. And it pretty much falls along the same premise. So you have to watch out for the takers. You have to watch out for the predators and surround yourself with givers. Not victims, but not predators. They may be prey, but you want to find and encourage the stronger prey, if you will. I don't even like that word, but you have some people that are victim mentality, but they're not really victims, and they're not really the prey. They're pretending to be. They're like wolf in sheep's clothing. They're not really predators. They're more like parasites. So I would say, and parasites are predators too, but they're a different kind of predator. So I would say there's three types of people. There's predator, there's prey, and then there's parasites. And the parasites will identify as the prey, and then they will bleed you dry. And I think that's what my friend, or so-called friend, was a parasite, because I thought he was one of us, and it turns out he's not. He's like what they call in the sustainable community, they call them grasshoppers, because they basically hop from one community or resource to another, and they just basically eat up all the resources, and then they leave and go to another location and eat up all the resources. And a lot of people have called him or identified him as a grasshopper. So, and that's another analogy I've used in the past. You've got, ants and grasshoppers, and you want to be an ant. Ants, they work hard, they save up, they store food and resources, and for the winter, for the rainy day. And grasshoppers just basically devour everything in sight. And they don't save for nothing. Don't be a grasshopper. And watch out for grasshoppers, because they will, this guy told me recently, he called it's dealing with grasshoppers is a slow suicide. Or as I like to call it, a slow, dark dance of death. All right, that's it. We're at an hour. Okay, bye.